In this episode, we look at the ear, page 81 from our science workbook. The ear is a very delicate organ concerned with the sense of hearing sounds. Sounds are produced when objects vibrate. They travel through materials in the form of waves. Major parts of the ear in hearing. The part of the ear that you see is called the outer ear, the auricle, or the pinna. The outer ear collects sound waves and channels them down the auditory canal to the eardrum, making it vibrate. These vibrations are picked up and amplified by the three small bones or ossicles found in the middle ear. These bones, the hammer, anvil, and stirrup, are shaped somewhat like the organs for which they are named. When the ossicles vibrate, they transmit sound vibrations to the oval window, which directs the vibrations to the cochlea of the inner ear. We have a diagram here that shows all the major parts of the ear. So, going from left to right, we have the pinna. We have sound waves entering the outer ear, going through the auditory canal, and then vibrating the eardrum. The eardrum, in turn, vibrates the ossicles, the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. And these vibrations are sent via the oval window to the what? To the cochlea. There's a tube here called the eustachian tube that goes to the throat. On top of the cochlea, we have the semicircular canals, and behind that, the cochlea, we have the nerve leading to the brain. We continue. The cochlea contains fluids and cells with special tiny hairs. The vibration stimulates the tiny hairs and fluid and triggers the nerve cells which produce impulses in the auditory nerve. The nerve transmits electrical impulses to the brain, which enables us to recognize the sound. Note: the semicircular canals make up another part of the inner ear. They are not involved with hearing, but help us to keep our balance. When you spin your head, the fluids stimulate the hairs to send messages to the brain about your position. You feel dizzy after spinning because the fluid in the semicircular canal keeps moving for a while. Note number 2. The eustachian tube connects the middle ear to the throat, allowing air to enter and leave the middle ear. It is usually closed but opens when you swallow. In this way, the pressure inside the eardrum is kept the same as that of the outside ear. We turn from page 81 now to page 82. Protecting your sense of hearing. Like all parts of the body, the ear requires special care. Never be tempted to put any solid instrument or small objects into your ear canal, as you might damage the eardrum or ear bones. Sometimes the glands that form wax make too much of it. If this happens, only a doctor, nurse, or other skilled person should remove any of the wax. Be sure you blow your nose with care so that you do not close the eustachian tube. Avoid loud noises because strong sound waves can harm your ears. Open your mouth when you know you are going to hear a loud sound. It is dangerous to hit a person on the ear. Even a blow with the palm of the hand forces air against the eardrum very rapidly and may harm it. Keep water out of the ear, especially when swimming. This may cause infection. Note: if serious damage is done to the ears, consult a doctor, preferably an ear, nose, and throat specialist, ENT. We move now to hearing problems. Many people cannot hear well. Some are born with poor hearing, while others became deaf or hard of hearing. Hearing loss can be caused by illnesses such as mumps or measles, which can damage the auditory nerve. Hearing loss can also take place 1. When a defect in the middle ear prevents sound from reaching the inner ear, or 2. When a defect in the inner ear prevents sound messages from reaching the brain. The latter can happen from prolonged exposure to noise exceeding 120 decibels. A broken eardrum can be another cause of hearing loss. Deafness. When a person is unable to hear or comprehend sounds coming to the ear, the condition is known as deafness. We move now from page 82 to page 83. Hearing aids. People who have some hearing loss, but who are not completely deaf, can be helped by wearing a hearing aid. Most hearing aids amplify sounds electrically by way of a tiny microphone. Hearing aids are usually worn behind the ear with an earphone that fits in the outer ear canal. Range of hearing. In the same way we use our voices to talk to other people, animals use the sounds they make to communicate with each other. Animals are able to make a wide range of sounds. Most of them can hear more frequencies than they can produce, and can make sounds well outside our range of hearing. Frequency. Frequency is the number of times an object vibrates in 1 second. Hertz is the unit used to measure frequency. Hertz is named after the German scientist Heinrich Hertz. So let's look at this little table now. We have animals and we have range of frequency and hertz. Okay. Remember that frequency is the number of times the object vibrates, and the unit used to measure the frequency is called hertz. So humans can hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Dogs can hear from 15 hertz all the way up to 50,000 hertz. Cats from 60 hertz to 65,000 hertz. Frogs from 50 hertz to 8,000 hertz. Bats from 1,000 to 120,000 hertz. And a grasshopper can hear from 7,000 hertz to 100,000 hertz. Note, the high squeaking sounds that bats make bounce off objects. This helps them locate their prey, such as flying insects. Now to the unit review. Starting on page 83, choose the correct response. The first part of the ear that picks up sound is the pinna, the eardrum, the ear passage, or the hammer. Number 2, the part of the ear, somewhat like a snail shell, is situated in the inner ear, middle ear, outer ear, or ear canal. Number 3, when the brain receives messages about sound, it vibrates, transfers them, rotates, or interprets them. Number 4, we go over to page 84. Number 4, which part of your ear vibrates first? Is it the nerve, the inner ear, the eardrum, or the tiny bones? Number 5, the central part of the inner ear is it the cochlea, the auditory nerve, the oval window, or the semicircular canals? So we have the rest of our unit review here on page 84 and 85, and you will complete those so we can discuss that in class. In our next episode, we'll move on to unit 12, sound and light. See you then.